everyone, I'm Holly. I am the maker and doer of all the things here at Missouri River Soap, and today I'm packing orders from the winter release. For the orders that I'm packing today, the customers have requested that I pack them on video, so that's what this video is, and we're just going to get right to it. This first one is going to Lynn in Louisiana. Thank you so much for your order, Lynn. And Lynn left me the nicest note about my bath bombs being creamy and soft, and she just really enjoys using them. So this is a bath bomb order, and I'm very excited about it. I had a great selection of bath bombs with this release. So I'm going to go with a 1075. The bath bombs are a little bulky compared to, just bars of soap, so I need a little bigger box. And I have my bubble paper here. I just picked mine up on Amazon. I love this stuff. It's so good. And now you're going to laugh. If you've watched my videos before, you're going to laugh. I ordered tissue paper, and I knew it was a little bit smaller. I normally get a 20 by 30, and I think this was a 20 by 14. And I was like, okay, I can make that work. It's been awkward. Look at my cute little paper. It's so little. I have folded it over, but look at the sparkles. I'm hoping that you can see the sparkles. It's kind of dark in here because, hold please, applause, it's snowing. And you're not going to be able to see it because this window is just coming across so dark, but it's snowing and I'm excited about it. So I'm using 2 pieces of tissue paper here. And this camera, my second camera, the one I do my up close work, it let me down the other day. I was making a super fun soap, and it was an eggnog soap, and it corrupted the file for the up close soap making. So I'm still going to put that video up. It'll probably be up before this one, but yeah, so I'm trusting my old camera. It's a Sony ZV-1. This one's a Sony ZV-1F, I think. I still prefer my older camera, so here's hoping. Alright, so what do I want to put? I need to put in some shred, which it looks like I need to add some more fun things. So I have more drama. I ordered another small pack of, it's just like a couple of pounds of a different color shred for accent. The last one I got in came in, it was rather delightful. The one before that made me very cranky. And this one is kind of also making me cranky. Oh, it is, do you see it? It is tight. It is in there. Look, the whole thing wants to come out. Anyway, I'm not ready to disperse the entire thing elsewhere. So, anyway, I'll be over here for a moment. What is this stuff? I think even the box would rather fall apart. Anyway, I could probably pull it out and it would expand a little bit, but then it wouldn't be contained so nicely. So you can't really see. I guess we could fix that. Here's my box. So this is a hard crinkle shred too. It's like, this is some intense paper. Anyway, I just cut it up to help me out with this process. And then I just stir it in. Yes, you can find some blended. Like my Christmas one, I really wanted to blend it or buy a pre-blended box. It was crazy expensive. So I was like, no thank you. I'll just mix it. So anyway, I just think this is so fun. I'm just like mixing it in. I love craft shred. It's my favorite. I keep it around. And then it just has this super fun little bits in it. All right, back to it. So I do need the 2 sheets to actually have enough paper to do anything. So I really didn't accomplish anything. I just couldn't find any with this beautiful sparkle that I liked in the 20 by 30. So I went with it. All right. So let's start in. I'm going to wrap each bath bomb in a little bit of bubble paper. So the first one I'm going to put in is my snowman bath bomb, and it is in a coconut snowball type fragrance. Oh, it smells so good. And I don't know what my bath bomb status is on the website. I know that the last release they sold out first. This release they did not sell out first. I told my husband, I said, I knew if I increased production on the bath bombs that suddenly they would become less popular. So this one is a remake. Well, this one was a remake as well. This is a remake of the Buttermint. So good. Peppermint and vanilla. We're going to tuck that down in there as well. Whoa. That one just fell out. These are actually very hard. But I do have these little pieces left over from the other cuts, and so I really do like them. Alright, so now let's put in a couple more remakes, which this one is pretty similar except for I did not do the mica drizzle on it this time, and it's just a lot of extra ingredients, and it's not really a necessary thing. I mean, tell me what you think. Do you wish it would have had the fun sparkly drizzle, or I guess I kind of painted it on. And then the Snow Kissed is a little bit different. The Christmas version was more of a reddish pink, and I think this one is just so pretty. So the Snow Kissed is a winter candy apple type fragrance, so you know that's delightful. That's a little one. And so we'll put the winter mittens in. I can put 3 across the bottom widthwise, and then we have Winter Wonderland. I just love making round bath bombs again. They're making me very happy. And they are still, if you've watched previous videos, you know that they kind of, when they're first made and I put them in their little cups, they kind of sink a little. So then this one is a flatter circular, then this one is more domey circular. Well, what I have figured out is I put them in, and then by the time I'm done with the batch, I flip them over, and then they dry that way, and it seems to make it fairly even, and I thought they turned out great. So this is the Wild Berry Blizzard. I struggled with bath bombs. Same recipe, so 2 days. I made bath bombs on 2 days. The first day, struggled. Hours went by. Such a big pain. And so these, this was a pretty good looking one, but some of them I really struggled with. And like, look, that one has a crack. But they're still nice and hard. They're still going to go into the bath and do what they're there for. So anyway, I struggled. So I think this was the last batch that I did that day, and I just had to give up. And the next day, I came out, did the exact same recipe, exact same humidity, perfection. Whipped out so many bath bombs, it was insane. So all that to say, when I tell you bath bombs are finicky, when I make bath bomb videos, that's the truth of it. And you can take the exact same recipe and same circumstances for the most part and still struggle. Be on the struggle bus, because I can do the same thing with my own recipe. Bath bombs are finicky and fiddly, but we love them so much. Now these are all a triple milk, so they're made with a buttermilk and yogurt and also goat milk powders. So they're so creamy and delightful. Also made with jojoba and apricot. Might have to get you some if you have not already. Alright, so I did still have to put 3 in here. This one is one I'm just tucking in. So I'm really hoping that these are still gonna fit. Yes, they're great. So this one is milk and honey, and I have a milk and honey soap, and it is so good. I just love how it smells. It's like an oatmeal milk and honey type, and they just are very like smooth, creamy scented, not heavy on like that buttery note. This is more leans kind of almondy almost. So good. All right, is that gonna be all right? It is. All right. So then I'm going to tuck in a Velvet Glow Snowflake Bath Bomb. I had these with a previous release. It was kind of one I threw in the middle with a set. And so because I had extra bath bombs from the set, I'm actually just giving away what I had left instead of taking all new photos and listing the items individually. So that's what we're going to do here. Velvet Glow is just a creamy, smooth vanilla coconut, has some plum. There's a little bit of perfumey note to it. It is so good. And so see there? They're all tucked in oh so nice. I'm getting a nice little dusting already. We have not had much snow since around Thanksgiving. We had the little snow and it kind of built up and it was beautiful and we were so excited for Christmas, and then it quit. And then all our snow, we had about 8 inches, and then all our snow melted. And then we had atmospheric rivers that came in and rained on top of it, and it warmed up and everything melted, and it was pathetic. So it is December 18th, and we are just now getting a little bit more snow. I guess we had a smidgen yesterday. Yesterday was brutal. Let me tell you about that soon. Alright, so I'm going to put in the packing slip. We're going to put in my business card. And please do share on the socials. Helps to get the word out. I don't get too fancy on the socials, so unfortunately I do lose a lot of exposure there because I don't dance in reels and stuff. I think it must be my age. Alright, so this one is ready and off to Louisiana. Alright, so this next order is going to Christy in Illinois. Thank you so much for your order, Christy. And we have a fair amount of soap and we have a scrub. I'm going to go with a 1075 again. That has been my box this release. So let me tell you, yesterday was dramatic. Drama was had. So, like I had said, we've been having these atmospheric rivers, lots and lots of rain. Well, what that caused was that our earth was just soaked. It was no longer frozen, and such. What is happening here? I just want to undo these. I thought I'll just fold them together. That'll be smart. Nope. Anyway, so they said we were going to have some winds, and we did have some winds. They came in and, well, first of all, the advisory or high wind warning, whatever it was, started at 2 a.m. Well, at 8 a.m., my husband took the dogs out, and he's like, it's not raining, the wind's not blowing, and like halfway having the dogs out, it started just raining like crazy, and then by the time he got in, he couldn't hardly get the door open because the wind was blowing so hard. And we had gusts up to 67, it seems. I think it's more in some areas, but it was bad, and it was just a lot of sustained high wind all day. We lost about, we lost about 6 trees. I'll just say that we could see. Like, we have 9 acres and we haven't walked the whole thing, but we did lose quite a bit of trees. Our neighbor was just watching them fall, and we didn't do as bad as like our other neighbor across from us. He has lost so many trees. It's very, very sad. Putting it as sad, speaking of sad, snowflake soap. And I just debated, what should I do with this one? Because it kind of turned tan. It's not bad, but it's not the bright white soap that I normally make. And I normally will use a peppermint essential oil, a non-discoloring fragrance, or a mix. Well, what happened this time was that I made my peppermint swirl soap, which was green and red and white, and it didn't really discolor. And I was like, good, let's go forth. And I made this one, added titanium dioxide. It's already a sea salt soap, so it's whiter in general, and it turned tan. Go figure. I had just purchased a new bottle, so it's very possible that it was the new bottle. So we have 3 of those, and those fit down in there just right. Then we're going to put in a Wild Berry Blizzard whipped soap scrub. And I gotta say, this is a favorite. It turned out just so beautiful. Oh, I love it so very much. And then we have, let's put that a little further down so it doesn't focus on it, a soap sampler. So in the winter release soap sampler, we had Wild Berry Blizzard and Winter Wonderland, Minty Eucalyptus and Milk and Honey, and then we had a couple of tallow soaps, so frankincense and bergamot and honey. And I asked my peeps on the Facebook, and they said go ahead and put them together, that it would be fun to have this grouping of soaps together in a sampler. So I'm just using some twine to kind of group these together here. And it's just simple and beautiful and fun, and you're not lining up the way I want you to. Anyway, so my husband brought the dogs in, and like this is all just happening within minutes, and we lost power. And we were out until later in the afternoon, which some people are still out. Today it's about 4 p.m. I know a lot of people are still out. Trees across Montana just dropped all over the power lines. We're not used to wind like this, and like I said, the earth was saturated, and so they have just tumbled. But now they're saying that we're going to do this again tonight and tomorrow. And so expect to be without power. So I was supposed to finish up all this yesterday, my package chat, the last of my orders, but I just could not work out here. We were running on generators, and these LED lights flicker because apparently my husband called it like dirty power or something like that. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't handle the flickering lights. The Wi-Fi was weak, so we do have Starlink, and we did power it up. But the Wi-Fi was weak, and my printer didn't want to print, and I just had to kind of give up, and I worked on editing a video for the rest of the day. So then we're going to put in 2 Wild Berry Blizzard soaps. And wouldn't you know, we thought we had full fuel jugs, but we didn't. So my husband had to run all the way into Kalispell because our closest town, Marion, their gas station was also out of power, and apparently nobody understands generators. Like some of the grocery stores lost their entire frozen and refrigerated food sections because they weren't running on generators. That seems odd to me, but it is what it is. Anyway, so he ran to town, got us some fuel, And it was just kind of like hit and miss. Like some parts of town, you know, had power, and then other parts, all of Main Street, Kalispell was completely dead. That was really weird when we turned on to Main Street. We went later in the afternoon as well because my husband was getting some stuff to run the generators all night if we needed to do that. He needed to make some power adjustments. And so yeah, just up the road is McGregor Lake, and a couple of semis flipped there. I guess in town in Kalispell is semi flipped, so that's intense and freaky. And my windmill got broken. I think a tree crushed my windmill and the blades are all bent, so I'm very sad about that. All right, so we're putting in the 2 Wild Berry Blizzard soaps. So look at here, isn't this nice? A nice little package. So anyway, it was just dramatic. And then we're putting in a Velvet Glow whipped soap scrub, and these are also in that little set, and I have a bunch left, so we're just gonna tuck that in right there. And then this order is going to be off to Illinois. Okay, so this order is going to Tamika in Georgia. Thank you so much for your order, and I hope I'm saying your name right. I asked the internets what they thought, and I got conflicting information. So I went with the way it sounded, and I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before because I seem to have issues pronouncing some names. But now I have Georgia on my mind. Ray Charles. Georgia? Georgia. Gonna have to go spool that one up. Listen to it next. Been listening to mostly Christmas music, as one does. But that sounds good. That sounds like something I want to listen to here soon. I do not feel like I folded that appropriately. So I know how I like to fold my papers. And so now that this one's a different size, it has just got me all confuzzled. Okay, we have soap, which is awesome. We're putting in a soap sampler. Noise, noise, noise. We're gonna do that like so, I think. It also will fit on the side very nicely, like that. So, yeah. So we're putting in 3 Winter Wonderland soaps. Good stuff. I had so much fun making labels for this release. And then we're putting in a Milk and Honey. I love this soap so much. I love it so much. We're putting in 2 Bronze Strawberries. And I'm very excited to be sending some of those out. Love it. 2 Cherry Hill. I had 1 left in stock, and a customer messaged me and said they loved it so very much. Could I make them soap and wax melts and a room spray? And I said, well, I do have 1 soap left. I will see if I can make you wax melts and a room spray. So I have to do that still. I have to go dig around and get out my fragrance blend information. And then I have Peonies and Peaches. Oh, this one still. Oh, it gets me. It's so good. Alright, how do I want to do this? I guess I'll just put those down in. I guess I can stand them up. Very good. So now most of the soaps are going out in the sampler. So I think I'm going to put in one of the extra black cherry lip balms that I made. I don't know if that's even going to focus. I love the little cherry on it. It's so pretty. So let me tell you, I love this recipe. I love it so much. I have played around with lip balms off and on and never have been wowed. I buy them from people. I'm not wowed. Well, my lips started getting just so dry. And with most lip balms or lip products, what happens is the more you put on and then it kind of feels like you just get drier in the long run. And I was like, I have got to make myself something. So I came up with this recipe and now I'm hooked. And so I have a lot of like Dibs beauty products. I love Dibs, love the way it smells. And so I tend to use a lot of their like gloss, and I don't know if they're called like Jam Jam or if that's the name of one of them. Anyway, love that stuff. I'm not using it anymore. And so I'm going to have to make myself a tinted lip balm in this recipe so that I can have a little tint on my lips. But I love this so much. It is made with beeswax, mango butter, apricot kernel oil, and jojoba oil, because you know that's how I roll. My favorites. Castor, the flavoring, and then tocopherol, which is vitamin E. Whoa, it's so good. So for the odds and extras, I made up some of these because I had these little containers and I have some supplies in excess that I want to start using up. And so I made these black cherry lip balms to send out with the odds and extras. And I had just a few left, so I'm going to tuck one of those in. And then this one is ready to go to Georgia. I love Georgia. I always loved when we hit the Georgia border and as we would drive from Florida to the Midwest and vice versa. I love Georgia. All right, so this order is going to Cynthia, Missouri. Thank you so much for ordering, and I loved your little note. And Cynthia said that her mother and son keep stealing her stuff away from her, so she has to buy some more. We're putting in 2 of the Sad Snowflake soaps. And Cynthia also mentioned that they like that they can get out of the shower and don't need lotion. And I am not a lotion person. I despise the feeling of lotion on wet and warm skin. So I too like that I don't have to put on lotion when I get out of the shower. Let's see, maybe I'll stack them like so. Well, I don't know. Let's just see. We're putting in a Snow-Kissed whipped soap scrub. This was one of the small jars. It was the last one from the odds and the extras from the Christmas release. Put in a little bit of shred, I do believe. Maybe I'll stand these 2 up actually. I feel like I have a little extra room, but this will be fine. We're putting in a Winter Wonderland in a Milk and Honey. That's pretty nice. And then we have a bath bomb. And we have the Winter Wonderland bath bomb. And I'm going to tuck that in over here. There, that's just about perfect. So we're going to have a little extra shred in here, but it'll be fine. It won't be too bad. Got to protect that bath bomb anyway. And Cynthia also mentioned that they enjoy our mountain adventures and the cabin progress and everything. Thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoy that as well. I'm going to put in a couple of big soap samples. So we have Wild Berry Blizzard and Minty Eucalyptus, and hopefully you just grab those right off the top, just in case you need to keep yourself a stash. And then this one will be ready to go to Missouri. So we've been cooking in the cabin since Thanksgiving, and I just absolutely love my kitchen. I love working in it. It's glorious to use a full-size stove. and oven and have all the burners, and I'm just having so much fun. Turns out I actually do still like to cook. You just have to cook in the right place. And what was I going to say about that? Anyway, don't remember where I was going, but I just love cooking in my cabin. Our son has moved in because one bathroom is done. Not his bathroom, but one bathroom. And so I'm really hoping they'll get the rest of the bathrooms done by the first of the year. We'll see. I don't know that we'll make it. But then after that, all we have to do are the railings and the flooring pretty much. So, I mean, there's little things. There's all sorts of little things like insulation in the ceiling, tongue and groove in the bedrooms, on the ceiling. I mean, there's stuff to do. That's why it takes so long. It's the piddly stuff that takes forever. And back, because I remember where I was going with that. All of my kitchen stuff is still in a storage unit in Missouri, and I really, really want it. It would be so nice to have all of my pots and my pans, and I have like, you know, stoneware for French onion soup, and my son wants us to make like, he's getting into cooking and baking. He really wants us to make some French stew thingy, and I really need my big cast iron ceramic enameled whatever. It was just like a big, real heavy but flat pot that you can, you know, have on the stove and then put into the oven. I want my stuff. All right, this order is going to Mitchell in South Carolina. Thank you so much for your order, Mitchell. And we have soap. I'm going to try to get it in a 964, but we'll see. I'm not, actually, you know what? I think I can do just one piece in the 964. Let's see if that, oh, I forgot about the box soaps. Let's just see what happens. So we have a soap sampler. That'll tuck on the edge. I think, those don't quite, oh. All right, that'll work like that. Paper. Okay, so we've got the two salt soaps. The sampler's over here. Let's see what this does. We're gonna put in a eucalyptus mint and a milk and honey. Yeah, this is fine. We have Winter Wonderland and Wild Berry Blizzard. And then we're just going to, let's see, we'll put one there. A frankincense tallow and the bergamot and honey tallow. So that is going to fit just right. It looks great. Now, I was wondering what I should send for a sample. And I had one more of the lip balm. So I'm going to put in the lip balm. I hope that you enjoy such things. It is just scented. It's a flavor for lip balm. And so it is scented, but there's no sweetness, there's no flavor to it actually. It's just more of a scent, but it is a flavor oil. And my husband, he asks for it every time we're like in the truck and I go to get out some, and he's like, let me have a hit of that. He likes it. He too thinks it's the best thing that has happened to his lips. So let us get this one finished up, and it is going to be off to South Carolina. I actually don't really have a lot of room to fold it. So my husband is actually planning to get our stuff from Missouri, but our priority this summer was getting the cabin done, which is not done yet. So we weren't like in an urgency for all our stuff, but now I really do want it. So I'm sure come spring, summer, he's gonna have to make a work trip back to Missouri. And when he does that, he'll probably just get a U-Haul and then just haul the rest home. But for passes and everything, you really would just like to wait till the weather is nice. So I had to change the battery, so I thought maybe let's just have a snow break. Let's see what's happening out here. Just a dusting. Ooh, that's really fine. I love snow. This is where we lost some of our trees. You could see one there kind of laying down, and my husband had to push one down, and anyway, yeah, it's just kind of a mess. This big boy, I'm sorry, it's going to be a little bit jerky. This big boy here is a larch, and it barely moved at all. We're not exactly sure how old it is, but when we measured its base, we've calculated based on the internet that maybe it's like 500-ish, 400 or 500-ish. I just realized I don't even have my microphone, so we better get back in. Whoa. Alright, so this order is going to Diane in New York. Thank you so much for your order, Diane, and thank you for the extra little gift onto the order. I really, really appreciate it. And Diane is just good to me. So good to me. And then Riley Flynn is just as cute as could be. So I forgot that I had an 866 box, so we're going to give that a try for this one. That way we can fit a little bit more. I wonder, I probably need to double that. Alright, so Diane ordered the soap sampler, and it really is a good sampler. Oh my goodness, so fun. I'm loving making these. I really am. I'm glad for the encouragement. I really like how these ones are turning out. Alright. And then we're going to put in a sad snowflake sea salt soap. And I was panicked because I need to package quite a bit more of these, and I couldn't find any more of the boxes, and I was like, well, I'm just going to have to go to like a cello bag. And then I'd have to change the label because I have a gap here for it to bend over. If I can show you there, there's like a gap. And then I found more, so I was very excited. I was like, yes, this is great news. All right, so I have, that works great, but not that way. So let's see what we can do if we go this way. Will other things fit? I think I'll probably just put some stuff on top of, well, that doesn't go that way either. Like, it all is going to go. I'm just deciding whether I want this to be on the top. Yeah, I'll just do it on top. All right, so we're going to put in, I have had butterfingers all day today. I dropped my hard drive, I dropped my pills, I dropped everything. It's fine. We're putting in Wild Berry Blizzard Scrub. So good. And then that sad snowflake. Although, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Yes. No. Maybe. Let's put that on its side. I don't think that's going to bother it at all. And then we have a Wild Berry Blizzard bath bomb. So let's put some shred down. And that's gonna go like so. Yes, I like this. This will do. And so then we have a snowed in room and linen spray, and I am just loving how I redesigned these labels. So cute. So to send the sprays, I make sure they're tightened down, and then we have to wrap them in something that will absorb if they were to leak. And so then I put them into one of these cello bags, what am I saying? So cellophane type bag, polypropylene I think is what it is. I don't know, let's look that up. and then I twisty tie them, and then in they go. Do not be alarmed. The packages with room sprays are going to come in with a hazmat label. That is just the distinction with the post office for surface transportation only. And the reason why they have to be on surface only is because of the base has a lower flash point. And so what that means is that it can't be affected by a bunch of changing pressures and stuff from flying, etc. So, surface transportation only, but it's a hazmat. So I know that could be alarming when you see that come in like hazmat. Well, what did she tell me? It's fine. I'm going to put in for a sample a whipped cream soap, Velvet Glow. Looks so pretty. I love it. And then this one will be ready to go to New York. And we have one more. Alright, so this order is going to Gina in Arizona. Thank you so much for your order, Gina. And we're actually packing 2 orders together here. And I've already tried it in 11/8/6 and it did not go. So I have switched now to a 12/8/8, which is my biggest box. So let's give this a try now. We have 5 of the Sad Snowflake sea salt soaps. I guess paper's gonna be persnickety for a minute. Let's see how I want to do those. Stack. I tried to raise the camera up a little bit, but I know you can't see super well there. And then we have one more there. It's going to be little bit large now, but it is what it is. So we have 2 Winter Wonderland whipped soap scrubs, and I just love the coloring. I don't know if you can kind of see how that blue and the white is swirling. It is so gorgeous. We have a soap sampler going in. Can't remember what camera I'm working with all of a sudden. This does feel large, but there's quite a bit going in still, so we'll be alright with it, I think. I think I'll move these like that. I think because the box is so tall, we'll probably set the room sprays upright. So, how do I want to do that? Let's put those in. I've already tightened them, but now I'm going to put in, put them all in their bags. So we have Snowed In and Figgy Cream, Green Clover and Dallow, and Fresh Apple. And then for the gift with this order, I'm just going to put in a Winter Wonderland. I had, it is an extra for taking the photos, and nobody ordered that one, so I thought instead of it just sitting here, I would send it out, since obviously sprays are a thing. Let's see, this one will probably go by itself. I am struggling with my sprays listing. I have worked with a developer who finally just washed his hands of it, basically. And I'm not getting any help. And so I just have to switch, what do I call it? Like my theme on Shopify. I think I just have to switch away from that developer altogether. So I haven't wanted to do that during the holiday, Thanksgiving, you know, holiday season. So I may work on that here soon. That's a lot of work. I don't really want to do it, but We're struggling too much. It has been going on for so long. We've tried so many different things. I guess I told you all of them. I just have to put them in the bag. So it's just been an ongoing thing until finally they're just like, well, whatever. And I was like, okay, thanks. They well whatevered me in the first place, and it went on and on and on with no response from the developer. Finally, I had another issue that they did respond on, and I was like, oh, by the way. And then they still washed their hands, not my hands. They didn't wash it with nice soap. They just washed their hands at me. I was like, fine then. If you're not going to support it, then I shall move on. I just not sure I want to pay for a new theme. So, I don't know. I remember when themes were like $100 and now they're like $300. Good grief. Okay, so I'm just going to set these upright. And again, you can't really see. But I'm going to just set these upright here. I think that'll be nice. Alright, well, let's do that. I like that. So we'll put a little shred there. This box is almost empty over here. I also panicked on that the other day when I thought I didn't order any more shred. And guess what? I did order shred. And it's been sitting in my back room for so long that I forgot it was there. Alright. We're putting in 2 milk and honey soaps. I'm going to remake this, and do I have an idea? I have an idea. I think you guys are going to like it. Why did I put all this shred here? I don't think that's doing me any favors. Even if we have to put it more towards the top. We have, oh, no we don't. We have 1 Winter Wonderland, 1 Minty Eucalyptus. Okay. We have 4 frankincense tallow soaps. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put some there. And then let's lay out the rest of the soap. So we have 2 more frankincense tallow. Put those there. And then we have 3 of the bergamot and honey. So there we have it. So see, it's a little not as full as it could be. Did we get everything? I think so. Well, we're just going to make everybody snug and happy. Usually once I pack this stuff in, you could just like slide the product out, and a lot of times the shred stays put. So yeah, it's needing a little bit more. I might actually just do something else. Well, we're not that far away here, so I guess we're gonna have a little bit of red and green sprinkled in, so that's fun. Sprinkles. Let's see. And so then this one will be off to Arizona. Yay! So this is the last order for my pack and chat, but I do have more to keep working on. I had a pre-order for my steamers, and so I made those this weekend, and so I will be packaging those orders up now. Looks like I do have some space, and this is no good. You don't want this when you're in shipment. You don't want your box to collapse. Alright, that's, I still don't love it. So I kind of just rolled a tube, and now I'm folding it over, and it's creating much more bulk there. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice now? So I'm just going to keep on packaging. Thank you so much for your support in 2025. I'm really looking forward to 2026. I have some new products. Should be really fun. I'm looking forward to working on it here over the next couple of weeks. That'll be coming up right around the beginning of the year, maybe like the 2nd. We'll see what I do. So I'm really excited to get started on those projects. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date. Sign up for emails, especially if you aren't on social media. YouTube's not a great place to stay up to date because I don't always post things in the time frame that products go up, etc. So our products are available at moriversoap.com. I hope that you'll check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.